Yo, what's the deal, guys? This is Dre Soupy, and today I got joined with me
Dallas Palace.
and my man's.
I am Mini Clip.
So today I was actually recommended from a subscriber to react to the war in London, the active gang versus 51st. I'm not too fun. The last time I reacted to gang activity that was going on in London, it was insane. So go ahead and check that video out if you get a chance. But yeah, let's get into this one, man.
The UK drill scene has exposed the world to all kinds of crimes going on in the streets of London. One of the deadliest beefs is an ongoing war between two gangs in the borough of Camden, the Active Gang and 51st. Let's take a closer look at what's going on. Camden is an area in North London outside of the Regent's Park. It's considered one of London's most modern neighborhoods, and many famous celebrities live there. But over the past few years, it's become a battleground in a war between two gangs. Unlike the US, London don't have as many large national gangs like the Crips and Bloods. Instead, they have small local gangs that are based in certain neighborhoods and often identify themselves by the local postcodes. These gangs are also often ties in the local drill scene, and many include popular rappers as members. The main beef in Camden is between two neighborhood gangs, Active Gang and 51st. Active Gang is a group made up of primarily Somali immigrants based in the Acre Grove estate in Camden. Several popular drill rappers are part of Active Gang, including artists like Suspect, Too Smoky.
But I'll be thinking, like, for them to get paid for their profession, don't they have to have their legal name attached to their rap name, right?
Yeah, that do make sense.
I don't know if this is the same laws for in London, but that's a very risky point to make rap music around what you guys are actually doing. But hey, the guy I reacted to yesterday, Suspect.
Oh, that's big.
Remember we was cooking on about the ops and stuff, you know, the binoculars. But hey, he part of it, man. That's crazy.
Keith and T-Scam. They're also allied with other local gangs like FSG, CT1, and NRB. Together, they call themselves 71st. 51st is an alliance of several different groups that are all known to be with Active Gang. They include the Peckwater Gang from the Peckwater Estate, the QC Gang from Queens Crescent, and Cumbo, a gang from the Regent Park Estate and Cumberland Market. Together, they're known as 51st because of local postcode.
I'm thinking, so basically it's just gangs from like different like apartment complexes, like different hoods.
I ain't gonna say apartment complex. I just think like basically blocks, like
different blocks, like different hoods, like but every hood it's different. Like it's kind of weird. Like that's why it's so many.
Yeah, there's so many blocks. Man. That's
Yeah, the blocks are large.
so yeah, that's congested at that point.
Like, literally.
Close in the area and in 5 and 1. They're larger than Active Gang, with both sides have proven to be just as savage. It's not clear exactly where the beef started. Some of them grew up together and were cool before the drama, but at some point they started having problems and then eventually escalated to violence. According to rumors, it all started over someone getting their watch stolen, but this can't be confirmed.
Watch.
Man, Overwatch, bro.
Come on now, y'all.
Dang, I can't, man. For y'all to be making money off y'all music and doing whatever y'all do, hopefully that gang is not just evolved around violence, because that's just pointless. They're supposed to, with gangs, you gotta have some type of gun. You know, if it's just Overwatch,
Yeah, if it ain't bloodshed or nothing like that, if it started over a watch, that's pretty
I
stupid.
mean, just let them, the two people, or let them beef and let them get that. Just scrap it out, man. They're getting deadly.
May 2010. In May 2017, 3 members of 51st were shot by members of Active Gang.
Damn.
Camden police officers were called to the scene of a shooting near Camden Road, but found no victims in the area.
Damn.
15 minutes later, they got a call from the staff at the University College London Hospital saying 2 men had shown up with gunshot wounds and were being aggressive. Following the shooting, they managed to run to a nearby hospital to get treatment, but when they arrived, the staff got suspicious and called the cops. Police came to the hospital to investigate, but when the 2 victims realized what was going on, they refused treatment and tried to flee. They was eventually arrested after a brief chase on foot. Another team was also later arrested in connection with the shooting and also refused treatment. All 3 were later charged with suspicion of causing grievous bodily harm with intent for their involvement in the shooting. Not long after, 51st got payback and shot a member of Active Gang in the head.
God damn.
Around 7 p.m. on August 22nd, 2017, police responded to a call about a shooting in the Agar Grove area. But again, when they arrived, they ain't find a victim at the scene. A witness said she heard 2 loud bangs, screaming, and tires screeching. She looked outside and saw a man.
Hey, y'all got 9 lives.
At the time, he was alive, but bleeding everywhere. He then got in a car with 2 other men, and they took off. According to authorities, the man later took himself to the hospital and was supposedly in stable condition. No arrests were made, but police believe it was linked to the triple shooting that happened back in May. The violence only continued after a fight at an Airbnb party that left 1 member of 51st dead after being stabbed 14 times.
See, that's another thing. So,
2018.
one, you ain't even hit to it. Like, they do some gruesome stuff, bro. Like the stabbing, like they don't even, like sometimes they don't even be shooting. Like they literally just make you suffer and stab you to death.
Hey,
Like that's some weird shit. Like
That's weird. Somebody can be that close to you and then just start stabbing you.
Yeah, it's
That's super weird.
it's like you gotta watch your surroundings, I guess, a lot.
Yeah, for real.
A 16-year-old girl was having a birthday party at an Airbnb in Gxng. She promoted the party on Snapchat and invited around 50 people that she knew. The word got around town, members of rival gangs showed up. A group of dudes from 51st, including a 19-year-old known as Dottie, decided to crash the party. When they got there, they tried to force their way in and cause damage to the apartment. Some guests ended up hopping over a back wall to escape. They came to the party armed, and Dottie had a knife, but one of his friends had a gun. But somehow, they got Dottie by himself and chased him out of the party. He was chased down the road, but was stopped by a huge group. Once they caught up with him, they stabbed him a total of 14 times. 4 17-year-olds and 2 minors were later arrested in connection with the murder.
But damn, a lot of these people young as fuck.
Members from the worst
Excuse my language, but yeah, they
from
young.
different hoods in London looking for whoever was responsible, but they couldn't find their target. So when they returned to Camden, they went on a killing spree and took out 2 active gang affiliates.
Bro, y'all had like
First,
killing
a
ain't nothing here.
17-year-old went by the name AK, who was stabbed to death after being spotted by members of 51st outside an apartment building on Aldenham Street. About 90 minutes later, blocks away from where the first stabbing took place, a 20-year-old named Sadiq was also fatally attacked with a samurai sword on Bartholomew Road.
Man, Bartholomew,
The driver refused to take the safety,
That's
so
crazy.
he ended up getting stabbed by the gang multiple times. Police said
It's
the
suffering.
stabbings were connected and were committed by the same group of men in a blue van. An 18-year-old was later charged with both murders. According to his mother, Sadiq tried to call her after he was attacked and left a message on her phone saying, "I'm wounded." She also said he was a good kid who was studying business at Middlesex University and worked part-time at Tesco. Sadiq wasn't the only son she had lost that night. Her son Muhammad, aka Mitch, was killed the previous year, and her nephew had also been stabbed to death in 2013. They was all 20 years old at the time they died. Mitch was also killed in a beef with an active gang in 51st. On the morning of September 4th, 2017, he ran into a dude from 51st named Eric Beacom, aka Flips, on Hampstead Road. They got into a fight, and Flips ended up pulling out a large kitchen knife, stabbing Mitch multiple times.
God damn.
Undercover cops saw it all happen and wanted to arrest Flips for the murder. He was later convicted
He
and
just
sentenced
walking
to
around
17
with
years in prison for the
knives?
crime.
That's
what I'm
All these
saying, like-
high-profile killings.
They
Because
just-
no.
The police.
So back in the day, guns were more accessible. Remember that? So yeah, back in the day, guns were more accessible. Now they can't have access to guns as much as they can, like they used to. So it's it's easier to get a knife than a gun for them.
Yeah, but these niggas all just carrying knives and shit.
That's their weapon.
Yeah,
that's their
That's
protection.
crazy.
If you can't have a gun and you in war, what you gonna have?
Now that's crazy though. They be carrying swords and stuff too. Like that's crazy.
Niggas be having machetes and shit.
Man, like
Cracking down on both sides, but that ain't stopped the beef completely. The next attack came in 2019 when an 18-year-old from 51st was stabbed in the head after being ran over. The victim was alone walking by himself along Hampstead Road.
definitely in the head.
Before
Like
being
that's
ambushed
after
from
running
him.
him
First, he was knocked over by a car. Then the dudes inside the car got out and started stabbing him repeatedly before getting back in and fleeing the scene. The victim was brought to the hospital with multiple serious injuries, including a stab wound to the head. He survived, but the doctor said he sustained life-changing injuries. Active gang continued looking for payback and allegedly committed another murder of a 51st affiliate later that year. On April 1st, 2018, a 22-year-old named Calvin Bungisa, aka C-Miz, was murdered by 4 hooded attackers in white masks. C-Miz was
four.
chased from
I thought you said
Road
400.
to Grafton Road, where he was eventually
Like,
killed.
damn.
Surveillance footage from the area showed the suspects fleeing in a dark-colored VW and speeding through a traffic light. The footage also shows them driving to Court Gardens, where police found the car had been set on fire and abandoned. C-Miz's family is from the Congo and fled to the UK to escape the war in their native country. Active gang dropped a song called Congo, featuring Arms and Too Smoky, which is allegedly a diss of C-Miz. The beat then reached a peak after the murder of a 16-year-old rapper affiliated with 51st named Culprit. On August 12, 2019, a group of 6 active gang members was cruising around Fitzrovia and Houston Road in 2 stolen cars. Around 10:30 p.m., Culprit and a group of friends left a restaurant on Bolsover Street. They must have seen the group coming because they ran away and hid in the building near Houston Road. About 30 minutes later, the 2 cars pulled up to an estate on Mumford Street and ran into the buildings looking for Culprit and the rest of the group. Culprit ended up getting cornered by 3 AG members and chased him Munster Square, where they caught up to him and stabbed him to death. Apparently, 2 people held him down, while the 3rd member stabbed him in the chest with a huge zombie knife. Both cars were later found set on fire in different locations. Police quickly launched an investigation and used CCTV footage and settled it at the traffic company. They eventually arrested a 19-year-old AG member named Arif Biomi in connection with the murder.
That's
He was
crazy.
later convicted and sentenced to life in prison, even though he was only the driver. Another AG member named Yusuf was also arrested for assisting an officer and sentenced to 3 years in prison after admitting to helping Arif set the 2 cars on fire.
God.
Culprit was an inspiring rapper and football player who had a bright future ahead of him, but he ended up getting caught in a gang life. Before his death, he was also thought to be involved in the murder of a 17-year-old named Nadine Bilger, who was stabbed to death earlier that year. Corporate's death was a huge loss to 51st, so they was
Yeah, most of these people are young, too young.
Yeah,
Innocent
I mean, it's sad. It's all of it. So super sad.
days, including innocent bystanders. On September 8, 2019, a 24-year-old man named Wilson Valera was killed in a drive-by near Queens Crescent. Valera was from an entirely different neighborhood and had no affiliation to any gangs in the area. But members from the active gang thought he was from 51st. He was killed in the case of mistaken identity. Just 4 days later, a 25-year-old AG member named Fasad Yarrow, aka Nuts, was killed outside the Camden Tube Station. He and his friend were spotted by members of 51st and attacked with machetes. Nuts died after getting stabbed in the neck. 2 men were later arrested.
Most of these are stabbings,
Released
though.
on bail.
It's crazy.
Reports from his family before his death. Nuts had dreams of leaving the UK for Canada or to start a business in Somalia. But before that could happen, he became a victim of gang violence. The beef between 51st and active gang continues to this day with no end in sight. Many fans are just getting exposed to the war because of the rise of UK drill. The popularity of the music has also brought attention from the police, which has slowed down the beef a little. But who knows when another act of violence will lead to a retaliation and set the war off again.
Man,
Yeah.
yeah. My reaction to that, bro, just like my thought process after that is like, it's really active in London, man. The pictures the picture that they paint in London could be very deceiving because you know, from my personal point of view, I think that London is a little bit more kinder and safer. But hey, it's dangerous, bro.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
It's crazy. Gotta walk by with a stab vest or something.
Stab this.
That's crazy.
But yeah, man, if you guys got this far, go ahead and comment something below in the comment section and tell me what I should check out next. I'll see you guys in the next video. Daily uploads as usual. Peace. See you guys.
Peace.